You're doing
Great,
amazing.
thank you.
Good, I'm glad. Awesome. So to start, Auli'i, you play Amber Appleton, who's a super kind, super positive, energetic girl, despite the fact that there's so many struggles going on in her life. What was your process like channeling this energy and really making this character your own? Because you absolutely kill it.
Very much. I I can honestly say that I put a lot of thought into her. Amber is someone that I initially very much connected to. She grew up in similar circumstances as me, at least with a single parent, and a little differently from Ty, at least in socioeconomic status as well. So I really connected to the realism of the story. She's also an optimist and has so much hope and aspirations for higher education, and really things that I not only related to, but also really inspired me as well for such a real down to earth character.
Now, Rhenzy, you play Ty, who's this super kind-hearted and he's really determined to kind of be there for Amber, even though he constantly kind of gets pushed away in a sense. So what is your interpretation of Ty? Can you tell us a little bit about his character?
I saw Ty as this, like you said, incredibly kind-hearted and genuine person. I saw him also as like I knew a lot of people who were shy, who were a bit shy, and he has stage fright, and so I sort of I wanted him to be the kind of guy who isn't uncomfortable in a group setting, but he's more of the guy who listens in a group setting, not necessarily the guy who's always interjecting and talking. But of course, we know I know plenty of shy people who, when you get them one on one, they're plenty easy to talk to, and they have something to say, and they have an opinion. It's just that maybe in big group settings, he more is more a little bit more reserved. I see him as this kind of guy. I also read something from the book that said he's the Michelangelo of teens, and that sort of inspired me in that's the way Amber describes him, and so that inspired me to sort of find what just this like genuinely good, like amazing person could be like. And in a lot of ways, I think he really does try to be an amazing to her and helpful and be the best friend he can to her.
Auli'i, the scene in the bathroom after Amber's receives some, not going to spoil it, but some very life-changing and difficult news is one of the most powerful scenes in the movie. What was it like filming that for you? And what does that scene kind of mean to you?
This is my first live action film, so it was. Uh, I think I have to take a moment to appreciate cast and crew for making a really safe space for that kind of vulnerability. Um, I really appreciated working with Brett, who wasn't looking for a finished product, which was very helpful. So I could also take away that kind of nervousness from myself, that I didn't have to act to with anything like a final product in mind, which was very helpful. I think it's a beautiful thing that we show that vulnerability, and even such a heavy topic, because then we also see her trajectory in her future as well, and that it her light isn't diminished by her circumstances.
Rhenzy, one of the most standalone moments for me in your performance was the variety show because we see Ty go from this kind of shy and reserved person, like you were saying before, to kind of super determined to break out of that shell for Amber. What did those scenes mean to you?
A lot. It showed you kind of the person that Ty was. That he was willing to go through something that wasn't so easy for him, in order to make this like grand gesture and to really help someone who he loves. I sort of saw it from perspective that Ty definitely loves this girl, and not even necessarily in a romantic and relationship way, but the human being that Amber is to him. I think he finds that she's like this amazing girl who deserves the world. And so that is really telling of the person who he is, and that helped me out a lot. The fact that I saw he overcame his not going to do that, and really put this entire project around, with the help of his friends, of course, to help Amber. That was like, it was telling about who he was to me.
Absolutely. Now, this film deals with some incredibly heavy subject matter while also having these beautiful, lighthearted moments. Which scenes did you guys find to be the most challenging?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I found one of them didn't even make the movie, which is I don't know how to feel about it. It's like good because I was having a lot of trouble with it, but bad because I went through what I feel like is an eternity of darkness, and it all for naught, anyways. But there was one scene which I actually ended up liking once it came out, but while we were doing it, I found it so hard to find it. It's right before we go into the variety show. Um, and I'm talking with her in the car, and I don't want to give anything away, but it ended up being like really beautiful in the way that the scene kind of flows from one thing to another. But that took hours to find. You know, it started off so different when we started shooting the scene, and then by the end it was this completely different thing. And that's a testament again to Auli'i being so like malleable in our performances, that we could just sort of bounce back and forth, and Brett as well, like giving ideas, and just the artistic collaboration that was going on in that scene was a lot of fun to be a part of. But it was hard in the moment to sort of, maneuver so much.
So to start, Justina, you play Becky, who is a mother trying to keep her and her daughter afloat despite constant struggles in their lives. Can you tell us a little bit about Becky's character and your interpretation of her?
As a young mother who finds herself in a very unfortunate situation. She lost her husband young, so she's a young widow. She's a hard worker, but she also has an alcohol problem. She's in an abusive relationship. She loves her daughter to death. She's her daughter's biggest cheerleader. Her daughter is her biggest cheerleader, but this woman is just really lost and just doesn't know how to get out from where she's at. But the deep love for her daughter keeps her going. And my interpretation of it was just that, because it was on the page, it was there in the script for us. So that was great. And we had a great director who allowed us to play, who gave us different scenarios, who didn't just let us do it one way, who let us try many different ways. And in that trying and that working together, we came up with this beautiful film that we're very proud of.
Yes, absolutely. And you guys knocked it out of the park. You do such a beautiful job. Judy, your character, Donna, is sort of like a second mother figure to Amber throughout the film. What parts of your performance and everyone else's performance are you most excited for viewers to see? Is there any special moments that stick out to you?
There's a wonderful scene that I have where I try to give Amber, Auli'i's character, a makeup bag, when I see her kind of like sneaking makeup of her own, and she rejects it because she feels like uncomfortable and a little bit proud after having been caught, because I think that she fears that she's going to reveal that she's been in all these dire situations after having been homeless with her mom all this time. I love that scene. I mean, there's a handful of scenes trying to comfort her after having been staying with me, and the scene that I have with her and Justina after she confides in me what her actual situation is like, and then this wonderful talent show towards the end where you actually see the entire community that Amber has been so tirelessly supporting all along, working so hard just to make part-time money, but just to help them. She doesn't realize that she's the one who's been holding them up, and they're finally coming together to support her and her little dog. It's so moving when you see that she's been so proud and so embarrassed and so uncomfortable, but in reality, she's the one who's been there for all of them. I get emotional right now. I'm just getting a little bit teary inside when you realize that she's been so scared and so shy and so proud and so ashamed. But in reality, she's just been working so hard to take care of herself and her mom. And she's been employing everything that her mom has been working so hard to teach her, and that in the end is what it is. You're not alone. You don't have to be alone. And in the world right now, what's happening, it's such a good thing to know and to remember and to relearn.
Absolutely. I love that answer. That's beautiful. So lastly, in this film, you both play mothers who, despite challenges, are determined to do whatever they can for their children and other people's children. What was it like to portray these struggles, and what parts did you find most challenging? Justina, you want to start?
I don't have any children, but I somehow play mothers all the time. I didn't find anything challenging. I just found I found everything exciting to work with this young woman who's just so solid and so fantastic. Like Auli'i is just that great. Exciting to work with my dear friend Judy Reyes and the director, and to be able to interpret these scenes, and also to have a cast that looked like our cast. I loved it. We just looked like the fabric of America, the fabric of the world. And I love that there were no stereotypes. We were just actors playing these incredible roles. And everything to me was exciting about the film.
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. So excited to talk to you. So the beauty in this movie is that it showcases so many struggles and hardships while also representing triumph, happiness, and coming together. What do you hope that the message of this film will inspire within viewers?
Now we could all use a little hope. We could all use, that message of hope that if we carry that with us, things can get better. So I definitely hope that hits the audience and that they feel that hope and feel like they can hold on to it. And I also think the other message of the film is really accepting love, accepting help. That we all sometimes need a little help, a little love, and it's okay to accept it. It's okay to need it. So I hope people who are in need of help can ask for it or accept it in various ways. And I think this movie really is about coming together and being there for one another.
Absolutely, 100%. I love that. This film is based off a book, Sort of Like a Rock Star by Matthew Quick. What was the process like adapting this book for the screen and then bringing it to life with this amazing cast?
Every adaptation or every time you write an original screenplay, they're their own organic, beasts, so to speak. You've got different ways that you can approach the material. And what was important to me, the North Star of Matthew's book, were those themes that I just touched upon. And for me, it was about nailing that and also nailing the character of Amber Appleton, finding sort of the balance of her optimism and making her a realistic, grounded character. And I think Auli'i really brought that to her, that you believe that she's this optimistic, hopeful character, but that she also is suffering and going through some tough times. And that balance, I think, was really important to all of us. So, every book has its own challenges and every story has its own challenges. So you just sort of like, as you go, it becomes an organic process.
The cinematography in this movie is so incredible. I was so constantly impressed by everything you guys did, especially something that really stuck out to me was the variety show because you combined all these moods, this energy of kind of triumph and excitement and hope and kind of coming together for a community. What does this scene mean to you and what was it like to film it?
Certainly the most challenging aspect of the film, just because it's the biggest set piece in the film, and I don't want to give it too much away, but I'll just say it was a lot. It was a big set piece, so to speak, and a lot of different elements to it. A lot of different musical elements, dance elements. It was a lot of fun. It was also a lot of fun, but there's big surprises and emotional things that happen in this movie. And I don't want to give anything away, but combining sort of the intimate with the larger scale is always a challenge. But my crew was incredible, and I had a wonderful team working with me, and I hope we made it work.
Absolutely. You have such an amazing cast. What parts of the movie are you most excited for viewers to see? Is there anything that particularly stands out that you're excited about?
Just see the movie, period. I think they should. It's a short movie. It's not difficult to watch. You can watch the whole thing, and enjoy it. And I think it'll make people feel good, but in a really fulfilling and genuine way, and not in sort of an inauthentic way. I think it's very authentically feel good. And but I guess if I had to pick one, I'd pick Auli'i singing the original song from the film, "Feels Like Home." I can't wait for people to see that scene and hear that song. And actually, that song comes out tomorrow, so I'm really excited for people to get their ears on it before they get their eyes on the movie.
Lastly, this film shows the importance of staying hopeful and positive in very difficult times of great struggle. What do you hope that viewers will take away from this message, especially at a time like now? What do you hope that they kind of feel through it?
Back to the themes of the film, which are hope and accepting help and love. I think, again, that is really what this film we are in a dark time right now. And if we don't have hope, what do we have? I do believe that we will get through this. And I think that this has happened and has shown a light on certain things that maybe we weren't thinking about previously, different injustices and problems that we have in our country and in the world. And I hope that through these dark times, we can have better times. It's always before the dawn, if you will. So hold on to that hope and believe that we can all get better.